Hey guys, how you guys doing? Welcome back, it's your boy Femi, and today I've got a crazy story for you guys that's gonna freak you out. It is about how a normal Discord server turned into something way darker than anyone could have imagined. Have you ever had that feeling that something online just wasn't right, but you couldn't put your finger on it? Well, today's story takes us to North Carolina, USA, and it all started with a simple Discord server. But what happened next will leave you on edge of your seat. So grab your snacks, get comfy, and let's jump into one of the weirdest and creepiest story I have ever heard. Ready? Let's go. Alright, let's rewind to July 27th, 2019. Around 3:30 p.m., a 22-year-old college student named Nicole was just about to take a break from studying when she decided to hop on Discord. If you don't know, Discord is a popular chat app, especially for gamers, and that's how Nicole used it. She would chat with her friends while playing her favorite game, Perfect World Online. Now, Perfect World may not be the most famous game, but Nicole and her friends, it was everything. She'd been playing for years, meeting new people from all over. Eventually, she and her friends created a Discord server where they could hang out and talk, even when they weren't gaming. Pretty normal, right? So, on this day, after playing her favorite game, Nicole saw a lot of notification pop-ups from Discord. Then she decided to stop playing the game to see what's going on in Discord. She saw a lot of her friends on the group chat talking about someone called Minhas. Minhas, he was in the group, but he wasn't most liked person in the group. He had a really bad habit of messing with people, causing drama all the time just for fun. He'd been kicked out of the server a few times, but like clockwork, he'd always come back. Then he started apologizing, saying, "I'm really sorry, I'm never gonna do that. I promise I will be better." But this time, the thing is different. Minhas wasn't just causing trouble. He started talking about a plan, a 4-step plan that would change everything. Now, of course, everyone thought he was joking around. You know the type, always talking about some big plan like it is a movie or something. But then, Minhas did something that made Nicole and the others pay attention. He sent a photo, then another, and another, each one more disturbing than the last. These weren't just creepy pictures, these were real. Minhas said these were the first steps of his plan, and he wasn't joking. People started getting freaked out. One person immediately called the police, but the question was, could they get there in time? The other question is, what were these photos and what was really going on? Nicole, like everyone else, thought, no way, no way. This is just another one of his pranks. Maybe he was just using AI to make these images, or maybe he just found them online. That's what she thought at first. But when she searched for the photos online, she found nothing. No results. No trace of these images anywhere on internet. Now, Nicole was starting to wonder, is this guy serious? How was he getting these photos? Were they real? The weird thing was, this was 2019. The AI tech we have now wasn't as good back then. No way could Minhas have faked these images so perfectly. So Nicole, still not convinced, decided to dig a little deeper. She kept playing the game, figuring this was just one big prank. But then the second photo came, then the third. Minhas kept saying he was completing the steps in his 4-step plan. With each new photo, the group got more nervous, but some still thought it was just a joke. Others, they were seriously freaking out, because if these photos were real, if Minhas was actually doing something dangerous, then the last step of his plan was something none of them were ready for. Nicole and the others realized they had to do something fast. One person called the police again, but when they explained what was going on, the officer was not convinced. People create stories all the time online. The officer said, we can't act on something like this. So they were on their own. Nicole and the rest of the server member weren't done with this yet. The whole thing still felt terrifying, and the worst part, no one was taking their side. Can you believe believe it. Even the police didn't take them seriously. Now, to be fair, the cops didn't have any solid evidence to act on. But the real problem, no one was doing anything to stop this guy. So, Nicole and few of the Discord members decided to take matters into their own hands. They started determined to find out who Minhas really was and what exactly he was planning. They searched through every chat log, looking for anything, any evidence that was gonna lead them to know the truth about this guy, his real name, his location, even if he had let something slip by accident. After some serious searching, they finally found an old message where Minhas himself had mentioned his real name. Turns out Minhas wasn't just a username, it was his actual name, and that was a game changer. See, it wasn't a common name in their area, so they figured, why not look up where in the world this name was most common? Maybe that could lead them to where he was. They also knew Minhas was a university student. That's what he always claimed. He never said where exactly, but he did have a habit of letting people know when he was online or when he had to leave for the class. Like, he'd say, I will be on at 6 p.m. or I gotta go now, I'll be back around 8. And every single time he used an Easter time. That was another clue. Nicole and their friends put the pieces together and realized this guy had to be somewhere on the east coast of the US or in eastern Canada. But here's the thing, that still wasn't specific enough. The east coast is huge. They need more. So they turned to one of their hacker friends in the server. They said, hey, can you track his IP address? Because, you know, an IP address can at least give you a general location. One of them stepped up saying, yeah, I got this. And in no time, they managed to track Minhas's computer down to one place, Toronto, Canada. Right around the time they figured this out, Minhas dropped another bombshell in the Discord server. He posted the third picture. And according to him, this meant he had just completed the third phase of his plan. For Nicole and the others, this was the moment everything changed. It was no longer just talk, it was real. Minhas was actually doing it. But how was he getting these pictures? How was everything lined up so perfectly with his so-called plan? And if you guys saw these pictures, you would be shocked. Nicole immediately turned to the guy who tracked Minhas's IP. She said, guys, should we call the police in Toronto? I mean, can they find him and stop him before he completes his final step? He had already done 3 steps. Only one more left. They had to stop him. But the hacker dude said, what do you expect the police to do? Toronto has like 6 million people. All we know is that his device is somewhere in the city. And even then, we don't really know for sure if the pictures he's sending are real. And he had a point. Not to mention, it is super easy to hide your IP address with VPN. Tons of people use one. And if Minhas had a VPN, his location could show at Toronto, Chicago, New York, or anywhere in the world. When in reality, he could be somewhere completely different. No way the cops were gonna launch a full-on search based on IP address that may not even be accurate. At that moment, Nicole realized they had nothing. This guy, no way to stop him. People in the Discord server started freaking out. They were begging him, dude, please tell us you are joking. Tell us this is all fake, please. But Minhas, he just doubled down. He said, nope, it's all real, bro. And exactly 30 minutes, I'll be done with the 4th step. The mission will be complete. Dude had a one-track mind. No matter how much they tried, he refused to stop. And exactly 30 minutes later, he posted the final picture. And that's when someone finally called the police in Toronto. They gave them everything they knew, including Minhas's IP address. Okay, the next day around 3:30 p.m., cops arrived at his house. Turns out Minhas lived in a small village just north of the city. So yeah, the IP address was right after all. But by the time the cops got there, 24 hours already passed since the first picture was posted. They knocked on the door, having no idea what to expect. I mean, was this some kind of elaborate prank, or were they about to walk into a real-life horror scene? The door opened. Minhas stood there, completely calm. His face was expressionless, super polite too. He greeted the officers, let them in, and just casually said to them, "You will see for yourself." Then, after a little bit, the officers walked upstairs, opened one of the doors, and they froze in place. Minhas wasn't joking. The pictures weren't fake. There was no AI. He really did it. The 4-step plan he kept talking about, it was real. And after they arrested him and investigated, they found out something even more disturbing. Minhas had been living a double life to his family and friends. He was a hard-working engineering student on track to graduate, a bright future ahead. But in reality, he had been lying to everyone for years. Every morning, he'd pretend he was going to class, but instead, he would just go to the mall, hang around all day, and then come home like nothing happened. And when he was home, he would lock himself in his room and disappear into the world of the video games. But on July 27, 2019, everything changed. See, the next day, July 28, was supposed to be his graduation day. His family was expecting to celebrate with him, but instead of facing the truth, Minhas decided to go through with his twisted 4-steps plan. And those pictures, they were of his family, his mother, his grandmother, his sister, and his father. One by one, he cooked them all. And for what? Why is he doing that? Because he didn't want them to find out he'd been lying. Eventually, he was sentenced to life in prison with a chance for parole after 40 years. Guys, let this be a lesson. No matter how tough things get, your family should always be off limits. There are better ways to deal with the pressure than this. I mean, if you don't want this life, you can leave the family, but all of them, that's too much. That's really crazy. Guys, that's the story for today. Stay safe, guys. Thank you so much for being still here and watching the video. I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and please support me to subscribe and like the video for more videos like this. Have a beautiful night or day or whatever time is it for you. Goodbye.